The current trends in the progression of the pandemic mean that a number of the restrictions in place can now be eased as per the recommendations of the Ministerial Advisory Committee on COVID-19. Following the meetings of the National Coronavirus Command Council and the President's Coordinating Committee, Cabinet has decided to move South Africa from adjusted level 2 to adjusted alert level 1 from midnight tonight. The following measures will then apply as part of alert level 1. The hours of the curfew will change from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. Non-essential establishments like restaurants and bars and fitness centers will need to close by 11 p.m. now to allow their employees and patrons to travel home before the start of the curfew. The maximum number of people permitted for attending meetings indoors will increase from 250 to 750. And the maximum number of people permitted to attend meetings outdoors will increase from 500 to 2,000. Where the venue is too small to accommodate these numbers with appropriate social distancing, then no more than 50% of the capacity of the venue may be utilized. This includes religious services, political events, social gatherings, as well as restaurants, bars, taverns, and similar places. The maximum number of people permitted at a funeral will increase from 50 to 100. As before, night vigils, after-funeral gatherings, and after-tears gatherings are not allowed because they've been proven to be super spreader events. The sale of alcohol for both off-site and on-site consumption will be permitted. They will be permitted according to the normal license provisions of such establishments. However, no alcohol may be sold after 11 p.m. The wearing of masks in public places is still mandatory, and the failure to wear a mask when required remains a criminal offense. I must on this point, however, commend many South Africans that I have been coming across in the streets of our country and in various places where people gather. I've been seeing a great improvement of people wearing masks, and this is commendable. As part of the effort to return the most affected parts of the economy to operation, we are looking at further relaxations of restrictions, particularly with respect to sporting and cultural events. As I said earlier, we all long for our freedom to come back. And if we continue to work together as we have been doing, more areas of activity will be opened. We will be making further announcements in time about sporting events. The Department of Health will soon be rolling out a vaccination certificate, which will provide a secure and a verifiable proof of vaccination. This certificate can be used to facilitate travel, to access establishments and gatherings and other forms of activity that require proof of vaccination status. Our approach on this matter is informed by the World Health Organization's guidelines and is in line with international best practice. Streamlining and standardizing proof of vaccination will also go a long way towards getting a number of international travel restrictions both from and into our country, eased. Getting vaccinated is not only about protecting oneself and those around you. It is also about preventing new and more dangerous variants from emerging, as the virus is able to spread and mutate in unvaccinated populations. However, we should remember that even if we are vaccinated, we need to continue to adhere to the basic precautions to limit the spread of the virus from one person to another. We know that indoor gatherings, particularly in places that have poor ventilation, are the major cause of outbreaks and super spreader events. We must therefore continue, as I've often said in the past, wearing our masks at all times when in public, and always ensure that windows are open and that there is a flow of fresh air. If we continue to adhere to these regulations, and if we keep the rate of infections low, and most importantly, if we vaccinate significant numbers of the adult population, we will keep this pandemic at bay, and eventually we will be able to force it into decline. In an effort to prevent rising infections, a number of countries around the world have opted to restrict travel from other countries. The United Kingdom imposed a travel ban on South Africans by red listing our country, in other words, preventing easy travel from South Africa. Now, this has put us in a disadvantaged position, since the United Kingdom is South Africa's biggest source of tourism from the Northern Hemisphere and is also a significant trading partner. While United Kingdom scientists were concerned about the presence of the Beta variant in South Africa, the reality is that the Delta variant is now by far the dominant variant in the country. Now, earlier today, I had a telephone conversation with the British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, to discuss this matter. I put South Africa's case to him, which he understood very well. And we both agreed that decisions of this nature should be informed by science, and we are both hopeful of a positive outcome when the issue comes up for review in the coming days by their scientists. Fellow South Africans, our greatest priority now is to ensure that the economy recovers as quickly as possible so that we can create jobs and help businesses to get back on their feet. The only way we can do this is if more South Africans choose to get vaccinated more quickly. If the majority of our population is vaccinated, we can declare South Africa to be a safe destination and welcome tourists back over the summer season. We can also resume sporting events and concerts and lift restrictions on restaurants and bars and encourage people to return safely to their workplaces, shops, and public spaces. Now, a number of people have been saying we should put an end to the state of disaster. Now, we follow science. Our scientists continue to advise us on all these matters. Vaccination is our best defense. If we can reach our vaccination targets by the end of this year, we can avoid further restrictions and kick our economic recovery into a high gear. Now, I'd like to urge all of us to take advantage of the Vuma vaccination weekends. Let us all go out and get vaccinated. Let us take our friends, our family members who are not yet vaccinated and urge them to go and get vaccinated. Let us reach our 70% target by December and let us pick up the pace of our vaccination process, and let us all vuma. May God continue to bless our beautiful country and her wonderful people, and continue to protect her people. I thank you.